Shemini. This is one of the most difficult parshiot, biblical portions of the entire Bible. The tragedy takes place in the midst of a great celebration. The dedication ceremonies of the sanctuary of the desert. At the center of these celebrations is Aaron Kohen Hagadol, Aaron, the elder brother of Moses. Moses, who has until now and from now on going to remain to be the central personality in Jewish history. This is the period of rejoicing with his elder brother, the high priest, the service in the sanctuary which is his domain. And in the midst of these celebrations, Nadav and Avihu, two of his 4 sons, are tragically taken from him by a fire which comes down from God. How can we understand why this happened? And within the text itself, it's exceedingly difficult. Because within the text itself, they seem to have done everything right, even more than right. The biblical text describes the ceremonies and all of the sacrifices which are brought before God, and the obvious desire on the part of the nation that they receive some sign from God that He accepts these sacrifices. And then, Vatetzei esh milifnei Hashem, and a fire comes down from before God. Vatochal al hamizbeach et ha'olav et ha'chlavim, and it consumes on the altar the whole burnt offering and the fats around them. And the nation sees, and the nation exults, and the nation falls on their faces. And it's a moment of great rejoicing and high celebration. And then, the very next verse, which opens a new chapter. The sons of Aaron, Nadav and Avihu, each man with his censer, placed fire in the censer, brought the Ketoret, the incense offering, and offered before God a strange fire which He had not commanded them to bring. It's very easy to understand the genesis of this strange fire. These 2 very devoted and dedicated servants of God were so excited by the fact that the Almighty had demonstrated His acceptance of the sacrifices by sending down a fire. They wanted to offer in turn their extra fire to God. But God's response is very different from the one that they expected. And the fire came from before the Lord and consumed them, and they died before the Lord. I believe the message here is crucial. God, for all generations, is teaching all of His servants, and especially His most dedicated servants, in the house of the Lord, in the sanctuary of God. You want to go beyond the requirements of the law. You want to go the extra mile. In interpersonal relationships, it will always be appreciated. Va'asita hayashar v'hatov. You shall do that which is right and good. That which is right according to the letter of the law. That which is good, go beyond the letter of the law when you're dealing with human beings and helping them. But in the area of service to God, you shall be holy. And holiness contains the notion of circumscribed, modest. Certainly, don't bring an extra fire. Because in service to God, when you bring an extra fire, it can be the kind of fanatic service which consumes all of those who do not serve God the way you do. It can be the fire of suicide bombers, of fanatic extremists, who in the name of God perpetrate the worst possible crimes, even murder. They brought a strange fire, Eish Zara, which has the sense, the rhythm, the sound of Avodah Zara, a strange service, which is idolatry, which is sacrificing your child to Moloch, which is murdering everyone who seems to be an infidel. That kind of fire in the service of God, which God does not command himself, as it were, God does not want. The punishment was very harsh, but the message is most crucial. And would that all religions would learn it, especially today. Shabbat Shalom.